Hello, hello, beautiful souls. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm going to give you a quick smudge. You probably can't see me, but the team says you're not meant to see me. You're supposed to feel this energy and frequency, and you're supposed to hear with your clairaudience what I'm going to share today. So I kept messing around with my positioning, and like I've said before, I try to keep it as simple as possible. Always real, raw, authentic, and messy, and I really can't see myself. So there's a reason for that. Yeah, so welcome. How's everyone doing? It is February 25th, which breaks down to a 7. So please look at the number 7. 7s are significant. You're seeing 7, 7, 7, 7. This message is not likely for everybody. All right. If you're having a very high, joyful, happy day, this might not be your message. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. You'll know it through resonance, through frequency, through energy, through flavor, through color, through essence. So yeah. These portals, these eclipses, we've got the next one coming up in 7 days from today. Excuse me, which is this worm moon, which is going to be a lunar eclipse. And if you remember, eclipse seasons are pretty powerful. That's when a lot of my activations started, my awakening started through consciousness, through the healing process last year around this time. 133 as I look up. So we're going to have a super conscious conversation in my real, raw, authentic frequency and energy right now. And I'll share that with you because somebody needs to hear this message today. At least one person needs to hear this message. So we're going to talk about a few things. I wrote down some lyrics from a song. I'm going to recommend a couple of songs, maybe a album to go listen to if you're struggling. 202 as I look up. I also saw 222 this morning as confirmation. So welcome. Yes, I am slightly annoyed that I can't see myself at all, but that's source saying that's perfect. That's perfect how it's supposed to be. The source codes are supposed to be basically streaming in and across my face. It is not sunny outside. So it's always interesting how source comes through my space with the elementals: earth, air, wind, fire, water, ether, spirit comes through. And this is how it's meant to be. So I gotta surrender and just let that go. All right. So every day it's gonna be something a little different around here, as it should be. All right. And if you're a content creator, I've never considered myself to be a content creator. I've been participating in this frequency family, FreQSpeak, of sharing my real, raw frequency, energy, flavor, color, essence with you beautiful souls on a daily basis with my light language, with oracle and tarot card pulls, and these messages. And today I believe is 102 days out of 111. And I think there's only one day where I was just really down and out that I didn't record anything at all, which was perfect. So thank you for hanging out. Thank you for getting curious, clicking play, or I landed in front of you because your team, your highest, knows that you need this message right now. Source, the universe knows you need this message right now. Maybe you're feeling a little down and out, sad, alone, crying, screaming, shouting, angry, frustrated, tired, exhausted. This message is definitely for you. We are here to have this human experience. We are here not to bypass these feelings and these emotions. We are not here to numb, run, distract, avoid with whether it's social media, food, drugs, alcohol, sex, people, places, exercise. You're here to feel it. That's why you're here to have this experience in this human body. All right. This is why your soul, among other reasons, but this is one of the big ones, wanted to come here. You're perfect and you're beautiful. And everything that you're experiencing, whether it's comfortable or not, ugly or not, traumatic or not, is perfect and beautiful as it's meant to be, right? We almost fell over. Okay. So with these transitions coming up to, my sun sign is in Libra, my moon sign is in Cancer. So I'm very connected to the moon cycles. So I have said this before, I start feeling the transitions of the moons well before most people say they do. So like I said, we're literally 7 days out. I'm feeling this energy, and I don't know where it's the placement of which zodiac it is right now. I know it transitions into Cancer, and then I think it transitions into Leo for the full moon, for the eclipse. So I feel it because my Cancer is the emotions, right? And Luna's throne, her main sign, is the sign of Cancer, I believe. All right. So I've been spending most of my morning crying. I got everything out to work out like I thought it was going to work out. And then I was guided to play some music, and that's all it took. And just basically listening to that and releasing and just breathing and closing my eyes and crying and releasing. Physically exhausted, mentally exhausted, spiritually exhausted, emotional, all of it. Like there's beyond words at this point, the exhaustion that I feel. And this isn't every single day. And I guess if someone were to say this is what depression feels like, maybe that's what it is. But basically, it's just a reminder that you aren't depressed. Your soul is asking for deep rest in these moments. And it's time for you to honor it. The past versions of myself would have numbed, run, distracted. I would have gone to the gym and done a really, really hard workout to beat up myself for whatever reason I thought I needed to. I would have restricted my food. I would have done this or that or distracted. And I don't. I just sit in it and I feel it and I allow it. Even in the most, that's why journaling has been so therapeutic for me, for a lot of reasons. Whether it's on my phone or here. And so it's been so important for me to not do that. And the biggest part of this healing journey, there's been many big parts, but one of them was to surrender to those versions of myself when it came to work I had been doing for 20 years. And it's in the health and wellness industry, which is a very toxic industry in itself. And I couldn't see it while you're in it, but when you start waking up more and more, and you start doing the healing work, you can see it from a different perspective, a higher perspective, a macro perspective versus the microcosmic perspective. And you can see just how toxic that industry is. And I used that was a crutch for a while. There's things I did in my earlier years. There were other things that I would do to distract, to avoid, to numb, to run, whatever. But food and fitness became the big thing for me over the years. And my soul, my body kept trying to tell me. So, like I said, I will move the body when it feels like it, not when I think it should move. If my body's asking for more rest, we give it more rest. If my body needs more sleep, I give it more sleep. If my body wants to move, I move. Okay? So these things we need to honor. And if my body wants to scream, I'll scream. If I want to cry, it's a lot of crying. And there's a lot of crying around here. And this morning, I sent a message to my partner who is 5,000 miles away, and that's a whole nother story in itself. We've been together 8 years, and I truly believe in the depths of my soul we are each other's part in the sense that it's not that we complete each other, but we basically share the same frequency and energy. We are a twin soul connection, which is basically one spark of itself split itself off into two pieces versus one self and itself coming together in a union. This is one piece of itself that split itself off into two different physical avatars. All right, and those divine unions are very powerful, and that's why they have been attacked. And that's why certain divine unions, you're powerful by yourself, but when certain divine unions come together, it's like supernova. All right, because you can enter a room and change the atmosphere, the frequency, the energy. You just loving on each other authentically, and expressing that is healing to other people, but it could also be mirroring and triggering to other people. And no matter how that is received, it is perfect. And I've known this for a while with our relationship, but this morning we've been physically apart. Most of our relationship in the sense that we've not shared common space unless we were vacationing for 5 days, 7 days, 10 days maybe has been the longest we've had time together, just the two of us, in 8 years. And we haven't had any time like that together for long periods in many, many years. and especially in this past year, because I've been going through a lot of healing during this awakening process, as well as he is, whether he realizes it or not. All right. He's been on his own journey, whether he realizes it or not. So what was coming through this morning was, I wonder if I'm going to propose this to those listening to this video, if you have spent feeling like you have been alone your entire life in some way, shape, or form. All right. Have you felt alone in this journey? Even though we know we're not, spiritually we're not alone, we've never been alone, but physically, do you feel like you have been alone or isolated during this journey? Either part of it or all of it. 1044 on the timer. That's the question. So I proposed the question. There was no response to the answer. There was no response. I was like, have you ever felt utterly alone your entire this incarnation? And I said, I just feel really alone. And my response was, and of course, we're coming into retrograde, so that doesn't surprise me that I was guided to ask this question or share the message. And all I got was, I'm sorry you feel that way. Yeah, me too. So anyways, yeah. And so we move on and we cry and we cry and we cry and we cry. And I just want to have a partner. I desire, I deserve. Let's reframe that. I deserve and I am worthy of having a partner who understands me at a soul level. So somebody needs to hear this today. You might be struggling with having to surrender or let go. I'm not saying burn the bridges and leave a relationship. I'm saying reevaluate, deeply reevaluate what your soul is asking you to reevaluate. And that's going deeper. And that might be, say, I need space. We need to take a pause, whatever it is. Because this is happening, you're going to notice this, you're going to see this. You've probably already seen this. Maybe you have already gone through it or going through it, okay? But if people are meant to be with you on this journey moving forward, they will. Just not the way you think they will and not on your timeline, okay? Because your journey is your journey, their journey is their journey, and I have to continue to remind myself of this often, because this is a challenge. I'm worthy of sharing a partnership with another person on a daily basis in some way, shape, or form, okay? I deserve to have a partner and share a sacred relationship every single day. Wake up together. Enjoy life together. In the busy moments, in the in-between moments, and in the silence and the stillness. I deserve that, you deserve it, we all deserve that. We do not deserve to continue to pour into our relationships when people are not pouring into your own cup. And I've said this a lot, and you've heard this many ways, shapes, and forms. You always need to put you first, even in a relationship, okay? You know if this isn't working for you, okay? You know, all right? You know. So I was frustrated and struggling with this question, as I have over this process, many years. But like I said, the past versions of me would have tried to go out and seek somebody. I don't do that anymore. I came to the conclusion, if I have to do the rest of this life by myself, I will, because I refuse to put myself in a relationship or a partnership or anything that is draining my energy, that is not a reciprocal give and take relationship. Take what resonates, okay? You'll know if this message is for you. We're 14 minutes in and I don't even know what we're talking about right now. I'm just talking. And so, again, do you need to reevaluate? Did some things get revealed in this last eclipse? If not, you might be reminded in this next one coming up, okay? So yes, I made a lot of drastic decisions last year for myself, but now I'm at the point where I'm just so utterly exhausted and tired of being physically alone, when I know I'm not supposed to continue this journey alone. I know that, like in my soul, I know that. But sometimes when you get in these spots that are so dark, shadowy, uncomfortable, painful, whatever is coming up, you're meant to be in those positions. You're meant to be in the nothingness. You're meant to feel it all, right? Energy or emotions. Energy in motion is emotion, okay? So you might feel better once you cry it out, you scream, you journal, you have that conversation, right? So, so, so important, okay? So before I go into the lyrics of a song and part of ones that were coming up before, I just want to talk about last night. So and the other part that's challenging is I'm either getting activated, downloads, upgrades, recalibrating, or I'm integrating all of that. It's something like that. And usually in this integration phase is where I'm going through some of these more challenging yet beautiful situations. So that's why I'm here having this conversation with you in this weird lighting in my dark ground level apartment. Like, I don't get this. I just heard you're not supposed to get it. Like, I'm not supposed to get this. I'm just supposed to talk and share. So the numbers 122112 is significant. 1622 on the timer. So I did a meditation last night, and I will try to remember to do my best for the YouTube video, and maybe even when I post this on Facebook, to pin that or tag that, however that works, where it was an activation. It was a receiving of 3 keys. I can't go into details because I don't even remember what it was. I remember being aware most of the meditation. It was almost an hour. It was a guided meditation, astral travel type meditation. And receiving 3 keys from the Grand Central Sun. As I'm coming back, before they call you back into your body, I could already feel so what happens is I'm very aware of what's going on, and then there's a space sometimes where I'm like subconsciously, I'm just not consciously aware of what's going on, but then I'm aware of things coming back. And when I was coming back, before they called you back out of the meditation, I could already feel myself coming back, and I literally basically felt like I went supernova before I even came back to my physical body, because I physically could feel fire, like I had just come out of the sun, the Grand Central Sun. Like, I just instantly, in about 2.2 milliseconds, I had a full body sweat going. I was dripping of sweat. And once that happened, like just this full body release, now sweating and heat or cold is again associated with receiving these high vibrational frequencies, lights, light codes, and information. All right. So I was very completely aware of what was taking place, but this was like really fast. And it's literally like in the moment I'm thinking, holy crap, did I just go supernova? And I just don't remember what happened, purified or whatever. And so then I started to bring myself back even more, because I could feel the sweat rolling off of my legs, and I had little to no clothes on at that point for my meditation under my blankets. And I became more and more aware, and I started to bring myself back. And by the time I started bringing myself back, the 2 beautiful souls that were sharing this meditation, guiding us, they're called the cosmic shamans, which very resonance for me. I know I've been a shaman in many lives, but saying a cosmic shaman, that resonated even more deeply for me as well. And so I brought myself back, and came back. And then finally, when I fully came back, I just kind of sat with that for a little bit, and I just kind of moved myself around. I could still feel I was completely fully, like, sweaty to the point, like sweat through your clothes type of sweat, like hot flashes type of a sweat. And yeah, it was pretty interesting. And then I fell asleep, struggled to go to sleep, woke up around 3:03 a.m. Struggled to go back to sleep a little bit, and then the alarm went off. I do a lot of work in my dream state that I don't remember. And then, like I said, I always wake up tired most of the time. I don't wake up after 9 or 10 hours of sleep with exuberant, abundant energy. because I'm doing a lot of work during my sleep. I don't know what. Sometimes I get details here and there, but very rarely. I'm just not meant to remember right now. So we're at 20 minutes, so definitely if you're still here hanging out, thank you. We're going to go into some song lyrics. And I just, you know, if you feel called to, close your eyes and just breathe. Listen to the words through my voice, through my frequency. Feel my frequency, my energy. Hear what you're hearing. I'll tell you what song it's from, and maybe you can go listen to it as well. If you're very clairaudient, you pick up a lot of information, signs, synchronicities, key codes, answers in songs. Okay. All right. So the song is by Fearless Soul. I listened to Apple. Okay. So the song is called Keep Showing Up. Okay. So if you feel called to, you can keep looking at the screen, or you can close your eyes and just listen. All right. Some days the skies don't look blue. In the mirror does not reflect the truth. You try so hard just to hold your ground, but everything feels like it is breaking down. You wear a smile no one sees behind the eyes that fight to breathe. But you're still here, and that means more than every win you are fighting for. So keep showing up even when it hurts, even when your heart is full of doubt and the silence burns. You don't need to have it all together. You are stronger than you think you are. Just show up. That is enough. Showing up is enough. You've walked through nights that never end, carrying storms you could not defend. But through it all, you're still the flame that slowly rises through the rain. You don't need to be loud. You don't need loud to be brave. You don't need golden skies to feel okay. There's beauty in just staying you when your only strength is staying here. So keep showing up even when it hurts, even when your dreams feel distant and the doubt gets worse. You don't need to win to be worthy of love. Even when it's tough, you're the warrior in the choir that's showing up. That is enough. You're the warrior in the choir that's showing up is enough. Yeah, keep showing up. Keep showing up. Keep showing up. You are enough. Keep showing up. So that's by Fearless Soul. And I highly recommend go listening to that, because me sharing the lyrics is just sharing it through my frequency and energy, but you're going to receive something different when you listen to the song, okay? So it's Keep Showing Up by Fearless Soul. Then the next one that rolled out here shortly after that in the playlist was Special by Fearless Soul, and I'm not going to do all of that. I just wrote a few of those lyrics down because I thought they were relevant to share today. Remember who you are. Don't let the embers burn out in your heart. I want you to remember who you are. And when the universe calls, always follow your heart. You are the spark, the flame that glows. You are stronger than you know. You are a masterpiece that the world should know. There is magic in your soul. The world needs your unique light. Don't be afraid. It's your time to shine. So that was Special. That was just a few lyrics that I wrote down. It's not all in order. from that one. So again, I highly recommend go listening to that. So I feel you in this space. I know you in this space because I am in this space. It comes and it goes just like a wave, just like the ripples in the ocean coming in and out, and you might be able to hear the ocean. So it's just riding those waves, feeling the highs, feeling the lows, and everything in between, because that's part of the journey. All right? Don't follow the status quo. You don't want to follow the status quo. If you are becoming more uncomfortable, your soul is telling you that you do not want to continue to follow the status quo. And I don't need to go in what the status quo is, okay? You are not the herd. You're the black sheep. You're going in the other direction. You're taking this path instead of this one that's crumbling, okay? You irritate people and you make people mad. Your frequency and energy, by you standing in your authenticity, is going to irritate people and make them mad. That's because it's reflecting and mirroring to them back their unhealed parts that the ego is not. I don't want to say the ego is not. What's the word I want to say? You're a reflector, you're a mirror of those hurt places in them that they are unwilling to address. Thank you. All right. You're here to be free. You're here to free and to liberate people through you being authentic. So you're here to free and liberate people through you being authentic, not by making people comfortable or people pleasing. That's not why you're here. All right. People will become mad at you more than likely. Not everybody. Most of those are karmics. A lot of them will be friends and family members. I guarantee that. Not all, but most. Okay. Everyone is serving their purpose, their contracts. Okay. So people will become mad at you when you express your truth and your authenticity. Okay. But again, that's not any of your business. You focus on you. You let them worry about them and you worry about you. All right. And yes, this journey, this path can be very lonely at times, physically lonely, because we are meant to be in unity. That's like the soul, not just humans, but souls want to be in union. That's why certain things through many hundreds of years, they've done everything to try and keep everyone separated. All right, it's to break the psyche, to break the soul, to fragment. Okay, we are meant to come into union, all right, with like-minded souls that are also here doing the thing. All right. So yes, thank you for hanging out, listening to me, sharing, being real, raw, authentic. Not a lot of squirreling today. It was pretty direct. After I did a bout of crying in the car, I took the kid to school, cried, sat in the car and cried, continuing to listen to music. Then when I felt called to move, I moved and I came home, stripped my clothes down and got into a sacred shower. And I don't know, the shower is probably one of the longest showers up to date now that I have taken. I just stood in the shower. I sat curled up in a ball on the floor of the shower. I just allowed, allowing the cleansing of the purification of the water to help move and clear my auric field. Because if I'm picking up collective energy, which is more than likely a big yes, I'm also picking up collective. So you got to be able to really be mindful of your energetic hygiene, your spiritual hygiene, smudging, salt baths, nature, grounding, all of the things that I've talked about. I'm not going to go into detail right now because I just really don't want to. You can do your due diligence on that. Curled up in a ball, and then I literally just curled up in a ball for I don't know how long, listening to music, and then laid on my stomach and curled up and just allowed the water to hit me from the front, the back, everywhere. And I laid there till I felt like it was time to get up, and I was probably in there close to 45 minutes. And then slowly got things around, got myself dressed, lit some of my candles, lit my incense. And I already knew what I was here to talk about today. That was a no-brainer. because somebody needs to hear this message today. And yes, I know that you are physically alone and I'm talking to you through a device, through the field, but I want to remind you, you are not alone. You are magic. You are magnificent. You are beautiful. You are perfect just the way you are. You are not broken. Everyone is going through this journey some way, shape, or form. Especially if they're waking up, if their soul chose to come here this time to wake up. Not everyone's going to wake up, and that's part of that is too, and that can be challenging. All right, we're done seeking. We're done doing all of that. A lot of us are here to retire and live our lives with joy, with fun, with happiness, with purpose, creativity, living our life through the eyes of our inner child, through the exuberance and joy of how our inner child would live on the other side of this healing process. And some of you might just be in the middle of your dark night. You know, there's many dark nights, there's many awakenings, you know, mini awakenings, big awakenings, and then just kind of unfoldments from there. Many downloads, many activations, many recalibrations. You know, for me, I know my light body is being expanded. So that's why I've been feeling everything that I have been feeling since the beginning of the year, since before that, but it's hard to put that into words on the waves of that. So I wanted to share this with you before I go. This is a picture that I printed off years ago, and it's on my dresser, and I looked at it when I was getting dressed, and I thought I would share it with you. And it says, know yourself, be yourself, love yourself, seek goodness and be goodness. Seek beauty and be beauty. Seek love and be the love. And it's Bryant McGill, maybe. Again, I like to give credit where credit's due, but I printed this off for years and then I framed it. So there's many things like this. Life is for deep kisses, strange adventures, midnight swims, and rambling conversations. So many years ago, I printed off a bunch of different things like that when I had access to do that. And yeah, I looked at that this morning, which I don't always do, and I thought that was important to bring in for today's message. I'm going to pull a higher self oracle message. This is probably for me as well, because I feel like it is. And just curl up in a ball and fucking cry if you need to. Put a movie on. Pull the covers up over your head if you have the space to. Please, I get it that some people don't have the ability to do that, but take the time and do that. It's so important, even if you're just sitting in your car and you're doing it. If you're taking a walk, all right? So, so, so important. All right? All right, what do we have? For a final message, kind of just do a few here through a full shuffle. The pull, the strings. You pull the strings that control your own life. You pull your strings. Don't allow anyone else to pull or control your life. All right? This is a beam. This is connecting to source and your highest self, okay? Listen to those intuitions, those nudges, those voices. Get still and be quiet so you can hear that, beyond the noise of the ego and the mind. When you bond with someone in spirit, you both become greater force for good. So a lot of us are bonding together in the spiritual realms and we just don't remember that, especially with your soul tribe and your soul family. All right, so that's that longing and craving that you're desiring right now, okay? An eclipse may hide your light, but not forever. So it's time to shine your light. And again, eclipses, like I said, are significant here. They're very powerful in showing you and clearing and cleansing. You are the rare flower that blooms in the dark. Keep growing. Keep growing, beautiful soul. All right. So thank you for hanging out. I love you, beautiful souls. I am you, you are me, we are we. I see you, I hear you, I feel you, I know you. Okay? We've got this. I'll see you soon. Love you. Bye.